Hey there! What do you say there, world? My name is Justin. Welcome to the Racers Recap, Season 28, Episode 11 of The Amazing Race. This beautiful woman here is Diana, and we have
Krista,
and special guest who we've been trying to get all season long, Matt and Dana. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Thanks for having us.
You were the first team that I reached out to. First week, I wanted Dana, and I wanted you two on so you can explain the situation, because if anybody gets you, it's me. I understand.
No, it's me too.
Opposite. Yeah, you guys are the opposite genders of us.
Yeah.
So, you've been watching all season. You've seen like the edits that happen. We're here. Let's do it. Let's clear it up. What do we got to talk about?
Well, I mean, I think it was fair that I got the villain edit this season and that we got the bickering couple edit, because I'm definitely the most aggressive and like just wild card out of everyone in this season. So I think that was fair. I think our only qualm with it was that they didn't really show the other side of it. And we obviously worked really well together at a lot of different points, because the whole race, we never came under fifth, basically. You know, we raced really well. And even in the last episode in China, you know, you saw us squabble a little bit at the beginning of the Detour. But we actually pulled together and we, like, nailed that. We assigned roles to each other. I was like, you're going to handle this. You're going to, you know the carpentry. You're going to do it. I'm just going to follow. Just tell me where to put things. And it worked so well, and we did it so fast. But they don't ever seem to show that resolution, and that, we do kind of have some tension, but we always work it out, and that, we're pretty strong.
I think
together.
A lot of it, too, as far as the tension and the bickering and stuff, is that, we fight and we argue, but a lot of times that's mixed with, like, an occasional joke and some sarcasm. And if you say something mean and then 30 seconds later follow it with sarcasm, it's like, oh, well, I get it, you're an asshole, but it's funny. Instead of just like, you guys are assholes to each other, and I felt like that's what sometimes the bickering was like, followed with like something, like, okay, we're just...
You kind of argue like bros.
Yeah, like we're a little bit like two guys sometimes, when we argue and we're like, trying to work through something, like it gets a little bit heated, but... at the end of the day, we do joke about it, and we stay in pretty good spirits most of the time, and that's mostly what we felt like was cut out and made it look maybe a little worse than it actually was.
Kind of made it look like we got lucky. Like, things just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Like, we never actually resolved anything. We just yelled and, like, somehow got it. But, like, we didn't get lucky.
I can definitely relate to it, because I know on my, bio sheet I filled out that my pet peeve about him is I said that New Yorker in him comes out. And... that's like, you guys are just two peas in a pod when it comes to telling it like it is. And that's like, I tell him, I'm like, that's what I love about him, but that's also what, like, I hate about him.
Sure.
That, he's got that New York attitude that...
You love that I'm a New Yorker, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
Matt, where are you originally from?
Farm.
I'm from Virginia. I was born in D.C., and then I moved out. My parents moved us to the woods of Virginia, and I grew up riding horses and skiing, and
it's opposites attract. It's city girl, country boy. So all right, it makes sense then. So on the race,
maybe
I know
that's
you guys,
what I need to find.
Out of the country.
So you guys did obviously work so well together when you're not on the race, and in real life, you guys literally have to be on the same step in life. So did that have any advantages for you on the race, or is it just like, all right, it helped during the hardest challenge, which is the dance challenge?
No, I think it absolutely did. I mean, we know each other so well, better than I would have known a best friend or a family member. We work together a lot. And just being close in tight situations, a lot of times we are traveling, we're under pressure, we have deadlines for choreography and different things, and I can't say it's exactly like the race, because nothing is ever going to be as hard as that race was, but it definitely helped prepare us and get us on the same page.
I think it really helped us as far as like working together and being a team. Like, we really know the best way, even though people don't agree that the way that we interact is like the most efficient way. That's just kind of what works for us. And we honestly have conversations like that about dance, too. We'll be on the plane, and I'm like, oh, so you don't think we should do this formation? And he's like, no, we should do an X. like, and we're acting like two jerks, and then we like work it out, and it just goes fast, and it always turns out really well. So I think it really helped us as far as actually racing, but also hurt our edit because we're so comfortable together, and we know like this is just what works, and this is how we get shit done. So however bad we look, we're just doing it because we came to play. Like, so
we can relate to that too, because I mean, like, I was getting personal email messages like, you should not marry him. There's something wrong with him. How does he treat you like that? And I'm sure you guys can relate to it, that the criticism of people like attacking your relationship when all they see is literally bits and pieces cut together to show kind of who you are is hurtful. And I mean, people don't know our relationship, just like we don't know your relationship, but you guys obviously make it work, and there's something about each other that you love. It's not just what people see on television. So
yeah, I think also people forget when they're watching a show, I think they automatically put themselves into a certain position. And a lot of people watching it put themselves into Matt's shoes. And they're like, I could never be with someone like that. And I agree that I'm a strong person, and I need a strong personality that's confident and that can rein me in and tell me to shut the hell up if they need to, like, in order to have a good, successful relationship with me. So I agree. A lot of people watching it are probably thinking, like, if that were me, like, I'd get eaten alive. And it's like, yeah, you probably would. That's why I'm with him.
That's how we used to play. Like, we used to watch the show and kind of find a couple or a team that we would identify with. So, and Justin would always say, like, people that find the worst are people that can identify with a situation like that in your own relationship.
If they say, oh, I could see Justin being abusive, well, it shows that they were in an abusive relationship in the past, and they're kind of seeing a little trait in me, which I would never in a million years do anything for.
He cries telling me how much he loves me. I don't think he's ever going to...
I would cry even thinking about hurting her, never mind actually hurting her. So...
the fact that people even say that, though, like, I didn't know there were so many therapists that watched him.
I mean, and, like, part of it's flattering. Like, thank you for being so concerned about my relationship.
It's like,
I'm just fine.
People are very concerned.
Like, everybody's very concerned about Matt. Like, thank you.
Yeah, they think I keep him in a cage under the steps, and he's, like, here against his will. You can't see the handcuffs right now. They're under.
Like, a lot of it, too, is like, in the basement.
Yeah, once you get into that stressful type of place too, a lot of the tweets and stuff were like, why don't you fight back and defend yourself? And, you know, when we're in real life situations, I do, and we talk things out a little bit more. But in the race, there's really no time to be like, okay, let's take a step back and talk about this logically. Like, if she's yelling and she's frustrated, the best thing that I can do at that point is just stay calm and help us get through it as a team. And then after we get through the challenge...
You did your fair share of shut up!
Yeah, I threw in a few shut-ups.
But they never show it.
No, they never show it.
But we don't get butthurt over that stuff.
It's like
people saw me saying shut up to him or acting like I was
10
beating him
minutes
in the head
later,
with a
and
bat.
we're on to the next thing. You know, it's
I don't know.
good.
We're just not. It's just to us. It's not. If I thought that it was offensive to him, I would be a lot more careful about it. But he doesn't seem to care.
You need the balance, and you need the fire. Like, you need to have that fire in order to win, and you need to have the balance of, like, the total opposite, just cool, all right, I'll take it because I know that's what's best for the team. So that's kind of where we got into it. Like, we couldn't take the other person's thing, so we always had to stand up to each other, and that's why we got a little bit of a different end.
And it's very different when you travel with, like, your significant other than...
Yeah, absolutely.
So different. That's why people were saying, you know, in the Roadblock in China, they were like, you and Tyler work together better than you and Matt. Like, what's that all about? And I'm like,
Tyler's my friend. Yeah,
Tyler's my friend. Like, it's so different. Tyler was on his best behavior with me, and I was on my best behavior with him. And
there's no trigger.
Yeah, sure.
It's just so different, and I think people deep down do know that, and then we were okay with it. I mean, I'm okay with the hate, and I do get that. That's kind of part of for the fun of the show for the fans is like finding somebody to be like, oh, I hate her. Like, I hope she goes home. So I'm okay with it.
And if you're a Yankees fan,
it has gone a little far at certain points. Like, I've gotten some really rough emails, like death threats and, like, just crazy. I think people just go a little too overboard.
People go, like, insane. Like, we were talking about this, I think, maybe a couple weeks ago when Kelsey and Joey even U-turned, like, to Texas. People were calling their jobs.
Their
like,
boss.
I should be fired. Like, you should fire them. We were like, oh my God, like, this is like people take it so seriously that sometimes you just literally have to laugh though a little bit.
It got to be entertaining.
Yeah, the funny thing is,
like, in the beginning you fight back, and then you're just like, you know what? It's just you have to laugh at it.
We always joke, like, people will come up to you and be like, oh my God, you're Matt and Dana from The Amazing Race. You guys are great. Nobody who hates you will ever come up to you and be like, I watched you and I did not like you. Nobody would ever say that. Even if they felt that, they'd probably come up to you and be like, oh, I loved watching you.
Yeah.
And we would appreciate that. We would apprrite that honesty, but you're right.
Well, that's what I said. Please, by all means. I mean, hate how I played, but
tell me.
hate on us personally.
Yeah. We don't believe we've run into a few people who have been really nice to us, but somehow we managed to run into like the 2 people in the world that don't hate us, I guess.
So you're on the race, and you are. I don't know if you watched, but you got the Superfan move of the week from me for the coconut carry. Did you purposely? Did you purposely use your fanny pack for leverage because you were the only one to carry 7 coconuts?
Well, it did say in the rules, of course,
9
that
at one point, didn't you?
I don't know. No, it was 7,
Oh my
7 or
gosh,
8. I think it was 7. But I noticed that Brody and Kurt were coming across the bridge with 4 and 5, and she wasn't able to carry a whole lot of chickens or coconuts, and we were behind.
Well, I think
we also,
people weren't seeing that strategy either. They keep trying to throw me under the bus. But the strategy was he was standing like this, and I was loading coconuts onto his arm. So once he was loaded with coconuts, he couldn't help me catch chickens or load myself with coconuts.
Right.
So I had one hand to put a couple of coconuts on myself, and it was a lot more difficult for me to maneuver.
and she had the feisty chickens left. She was trying to get
the
to
meat chicken.
for the life of me. But it said in the rules that we weren't allowed to use our clothing for any extra help with carrying the coconuts and stuff. But yeah, I just literally put my arms out. I knew I had to get at least 6 or 7 to start making up some time on some of the other teams, and I said stack them until they won't balance anymore, and pinned it with my chin,
and then drop them all on the floor.
Yeah, and then a couple times it worked out about 3/4 of the bridge. I just dropped everything, but we made up a little bit of time. It definitely didn't hurt.
Yeah, Corey said that you carried 8 at one point, that you were a beast.
I think it was 8 the first trip, yeah.
Jeez.
What did you do? I mean, you guys are physically fit. This is what you do for a living. What did you guys do to prepare for the race?
Matt did 1 lap around the park wearing a weighted vest. That's it. And I couldn't catch him if you had set me on fire. Like, there was no way I could keep up with him. Not in any stretch, not if I had trained for 6 years. Like, he was so fast and so freaking athletic. It was out of control. He did absolutely really nothing. We went rock climbing twice. He did some rock climbing with me. But mostly he just laughed at me while I tried to train. I ran. I did some running because I really am not great with running distance. So I did some running. We did some rowing at a few certain points. We played some beach volleyball just in case that made a
shout out to season 27.
Did you do the dance?
But you guys said that you wanted to do it for 5 years, like you've been long term,
I learned to drive stick. That was another. That turned out to come in handy.
Oh yeah. How was that? That was not fun for me.
Yeah. I actually turned out all right at driving stick. I was excited to learn that.
So Krista just said you guys have been fans for 5 years. Is that true?
I've actually been fan even longer. But yeah, we've been applying to.
We've been thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we applied 4.5 years ago.
So you actually auditioned?
Many times, yeah.
4 times.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we had we sent in 2 different video auditions, and they always showed interest in our videos, but never brought us through to finals. And then one time we even drove to San Francisco and slept out on the street to do a live casting.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we kind of just forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were huge fans of the show, and after 4 or 5 times applying, we were like, maybe it's
we just let it
just not in the cards, we'll just keep watching it and be fans.
And then all of a sudden
they reached out to us and said, hey, it's a social media season. Are you guys interested in reapplying? And
they were like, we recognized your photo because we had sent a photo into them with our application the year before. And the same one's on our YouTube channel. So they were like, we saw it, and we were like, I think that these people have applied before. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
I ask everybody, all right, you're standing at the starting line. I know there's so many massive people on your season as far as height and muscles. Who are you looking at as your biggest threats?
Tyler and Corey.
We said it in the end of the last episode. We knew from the beginning.
Before the show started, we were like, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah, we know how much it is a mixture of mental and physical. We obviously knew Brody and Kurt were going to be amazing physical, which they were, and really did well on the mental side as well. They really surprised us with how well-rounded they were. But Tyler and Corey, we know how calm they are under pressure. Not even knowing them that well before the race, we were just like, man, these guys have everything that they need.
Like a friendship, 2 male friends were going to be hard to beat, basically. Like Brody and Kurt and Tyler and Corey, we knew were going to be difficult. And we also knew that we looked a lot at Rooster Teeth and Rachel and Zach as well, because we thought that they also were so different than us that, you know, like with Zach was like a wild card. You give him candy making and he could do that in like 30 seconds.
So the rug. They were like...
We never even found the challenge. He made 72 bars of chocolate. Like, we never even got there. You know, we knew that we had so many. The thing about our season that was crazy, it's funny because so many people were angry about the lack of diversity between the teams, but we thought that made it even harder because everyone was young, everyone was savvy, everyone was charismatic, everyone traveled a lot for the most part. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't understand the lack of diversity is bullshit.
Yeah,
you got
I look at it differently.
You got people from north, south, east, west. You got people from 19 to 60.
So what you had the
you got
Scott, Sherry,
black, white, Spanish, Asian. You got Catholic, you got atheist. I mean, how else diverse can you be? I mean, there's every religion, every race, every part of America.
We're all in the same YouTube space. Make people think we're all the same, but it's not the same.
You're under like an umbrella term of like being social media, so automatically it means that you're not
YouTube
individuals or diverse.
YouTube is not Vine. Vine is not Instagram. Instagram is not. You can't just lump everything together. It's like saying, "Well, I'm a movie star, but I write books. I'm an author." No, you both.
Yeah, but not even the social media aspect. You're just different people in general, no matter what.
And people kept asking us how much of the cast are you friends with. We had never met anybody from the cast, and we didn't even know who any of them were. We kind of recognized Tyler because we have some mutual friends, and I recognized Zach.
You did not recognize, you fangirl.
Well, I had learned how to edit my YouTube videos, and I started editing from Zach's tutorials 8 years ago.
But he didn't realize that it was even him until the day we were shooting the
until we were on the race. So we didn't know anybody. You know, it really was diverse in the sense too that
everyone
coming from different. Different businesses.
But I thought that the fact that our common threads made us so much more competitive this season. Like, I felt like so many people were so, like, you know, the models could knock on the door and get into any airport lounge. Like, they knew, you know what I mean? Like, everyone had their thing and, like, their angle and just, like, was right at home, ready. Like, everyone had a strategy and a little, like, you know.
Yeah, that's funny that you guys didn't know anyone on the cast because you guys were the only people that I knew. So as soon as the cast came out, I like texted Tiffany. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I like posted. We have like a TR like 27 group chat. I'm like, "Do you guys have any idea like what these people are in the dance world?" They're like, "Oh my god!" And we were like freaking out like for you guys, and you know.
Yeah, they were kind of fangirling.
Yeah, we were like freaking out in the group chat.
So
hold on really quick. Yeah. Sherry's in the chat room and she says she can't stream, but she wanted to be here to support Dana and Matt. So Sherry's here for you guys.
Hi, Sherry.
She gave me her number, so if anyone has a question, she said to text her.
Just post her number in the chat. I'm sure they'll love it.
Put it in the chat, yeah. Sherry, I love it.
Matt, we learned in this episode that you used to be a home flipper, and that got me thinking. I think Matt and Dana, HGTV show, like if you guys can handle the spark like that, you guys would be great.
You guys would fit right next to like Chip and Joanna, and then Tarek and Christina, and then and Matt.
There you go.
Could be the swaggy attitude couple that turns your house into like a dance studio.
Yeah. Put chrome mailboxes out front and stuff.
No murder. The whole house is black.
So I always ask, what do you find is the most like challenging aspect of the race in general? Like the flights for me were, I think, like the most tough to get through. Those 12-hour flights were unbearable. He can sleep in anything, or was it like you're sleeping, trying to stay healthy? What do you think was the most challenging part overall?
I mean, obviously for us, the most challenging part was self-navigation. We could not get that shit together. Like, to this day, if he asks me for directions, I'm like, nope, don't know where it is.
That's so funny. So that's changed. Yeah, your relationship has changed.
We've decided we will not navigate ever again.
Very difficult. I think for me, the taxis, I'm pretty much a control freak, admittedly, when it comes to like, you know, completing something and just the lack of control when you get in a taxi and can't speak the language and you have to just have faith that you're going to where he says you're going. It is
Matt expressed his faith in the taxi drivers by asking them every 22 seconds, is this the right direction? Are you sure this is the right direction? Excuse me, sir, is this the right direction?
I'll just nod and say, yeah.
I would read it in every accent I could think of that sounded like it might make it more clear. It was so stressful. You never know. I mean, you guys experienced it. Oh, you heard Shay Shay? Yeah,
I heard Shay.
Well, the Chinese.
I don't know if you listened, but we've quoted Bertram many times because at the finish line, he told us that most people think that it's the challenges and the tasks that are the hardest part. He said the thing that gets most people eliminated and the hardest part of the race is getting from A to B.
He's like, it's not a show about the tasks. It's a show about getting from one place to another.
I think that's the hardest part too, because if you mess up in a challenge and you go home, you can live with it because it's like, well, I had it in my hands and I didn't have the skills or I didn't understand or whatever, and you can really attribute it to like a personal mistake. But when it's something like a taxi gets lost or, you know, something happens and you miss a flight, like things that are out of your control, it's like so tense the whole time because you're like, if we go out like this, I'm gonna go nuts. Like I can't live with it. So I think that's also what makes those moments so crazy.
Oh, I feel you.
All right, so you're catching here. You're up into the final three, and you got Tyler and Corey, who've pretty much dominated the race at this point with 5 wins. You got Sherry and Cole hitting their stride to like Team Wonder, who come out of nowhere. Are you guys sitting there like, you know what, we got a chance? Or you were like, we got to do something to step up and get above Corey and Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we haven't been ahead of Corey and Tyler
in a long time
since Georgia for a quick moment. You know, they pretty much run a clean race, start to finish. We know that we have to do something. And Sherry and Cole, you know, like nobody expected them to be able to pull that out. They were behind in the last leg, and you can see on our expression when they come around the corner how shocked and just happy everybody is because they, you know, they were just such good people. Everybody was a fan of them throughout the race. And, you know, we were just the leg before this thinking about Bernie and Ashley potentially being in the finale as well was just, it really was such a stacked cast going into the Final Four. And now into the Final Three, too. We definitely have to pick up, we know, because Tyler and Corey are unbelievable.
Did you feel relieved, like, when Bernie and Ashley weren't there in a way? Like, do you think part of
I don't know if, I guess you did.
I did, because I knew what a threat they were. And same as Tyler and Corey, they just, with all those seconds in a row, they weren't falling. They weren't making mistakes. The last mistake they made was Chamonix when they chose the wrong detour, and that's really the only mistake they made pretty much the whole season. They were just running such a clean race, and, you know, we were a little bit more up and down. So it was definitely out of relief, and, you know, we were, as much as we respect them and stuff, we were definitely like,
of course,
okay, we can't, you know, Bernie and Ashley and Tyler and Corey, they've just been killing us all season.
I was a kind of relief, but I also felt like it was a couple of times that we had to go head-to-head with Sherry and Cole. I felt like they were a really strong match for us. I felt like you and Cole physically were very similar, and me and Sherry, I mean, Sherry kicks ass. Like, she was really similar to me in height. She was like, I mean, she kicks ass, and she really, no matter that she's older or she's mom or nothing, like, her and I were very similar in terms of physicality, in terms of the strengths that we had. Like, we both said if there was some kind of challenge that was, like, a little more feminine or having to do with this or that, like, we always said that we would excel at the same things.
Speaking of that, what was your task going in? Did you guys have a set, like, I'm going to do every task that has this, he's going to do every task that has this? What was it?
We did, but it didn't work out. We had decided that I was going to do all the tasks that involved, like, extreme. So I was going to jump off things. I was going to do anything that was, like, kind of risky because I don't really have a fear in those situations. So in that case, somehow he ended up doing all of them so far. He did the – we just couldn't – we just didn't know from the clues. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you don't
we weren't
know.
sure,
and
but
I'm good
puzzles.
with puzzles and things, so anything that was more like that area we wanted to put me in, but we got fooled a few times this season with, you know, what the description was, and okay, do that, and then next thing you know, I'm jumping off a building or parasailing or whatever.
I think in
know,
hindsight, though, it worked out that the Roadblocks were ones we
Matt,
chose.
were you jealous that you didn't get to do the dance challenge?
Not one bit.
was wondering because
as much as I love to dance, wearing a wig in Georgian ballet is not my strength, despite what you might think from my videos.
So, I think you had the legs for it.
I let Zach and Corey and Scott, represent for the fellas on that test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they told me that it was a dance challenge, I almost started to cry for some reason, and that was one of the points where Matt got really tough. I don't know what was the matter with me. I was just super emotional. We'd been in last, and I was like, I have to do ballet. Matt was like, shut up, get out there.
But you needed that. You said something that resonated with me. You were like, I just needed to dance. I'm like,
I love that part.
Exactly how I felt when we had the tango, and I was like, Justin, you were the one that told us we had it. I was like, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it?
I know, you were so excited. It was cute. I wish I reacted like
let
that.
It out.
So something happened in this episode that I wish would have actually came to fruition, but it didn't. So Tyler turns to you and says, I really have to pee. And you dead serious.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That was as dead serious as she could probably
say. Just pee your pants. We didn't come here to lose.
That's it.
Dead serious.
Well, because I was thinking back to the team, was it Keisha and Jen that got eliminated because she went to go to the bathroom. And I was like, we're not going out like that. I was like, you can't go to the bathroom. And then I just, what's funny though, after the episode aired East Coast time, I watched it on the West Coast here 3 hours after. So after it aired, people started tweeting me that line and being like, yes, queen, that's so funny, all this stuff. And so I messaged Corey and I was like, when did I say that? Who did I even say that to? I just had no recollection of that even happening. But
isn't it funny when you when you watch things back and you're like, wow, I completely forgot about that moment. Everything could be such a blur because it happened so fast. You're like, I did that, I said that, I wanted that happen.
Yeah, no, I did not remember that. I asked Matt, I was like, did you have to pee? Did I say that to you? He was like, I don't think I had to pee. I was like, who am I talking to?
Yeah. That's great.
So, what didn't you prepare for? Or what was the biggest surprise for you guys on the race?
I think for me it was the actual amount of distance that you physically run. I was really surprised the first night that the plane landed and we were in Mexico City. It was about a 2-mile run from where you picked up the clue to the Mariachi Madness. And I kept saying to him, this can't be right. These things can't be this far apart from each other because you don't really see that in the race. That you're running 7-8 miles a leg, and they cut most of that out. Obviously, it was pretty boring to watch us all run around. But so I was kind of shocked. More. Yeah, a little bit, so that people know we're working hard out there.
Yeah, she was like, there's no way this is right. We've been running for 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't know, And, people say, no, it's further. We're like, it's further. Oh, my God. And
so I was shocked by that it really, they put the challenges, that span the whole city. In Switzerland, I think we did, 4 laps around, the entire country, basically, by the time that was over. So it was.
It's when you watch it, you just get there. But when you watch the plane, the same thing. It's the plane just goes on the map. We always say, but they don't see what's happening.
Yeah, they don't show the 12 hours you're trying to get comfortable in a plane.
Those layovers too. Gosh. The layovers just.
Yeah, this episode
sometimes.
You guys opened your clue at 7:51 a.m. and then had a flight at 1:45 a.m. So you had all day to just kind of sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun airport stories? I remember, in one of our first, I think it was in Rio, after the first leg, we had 9 hours to kill in the airport, and we played charades. And
we had a talent show.
We had a talent show. Did you guys do anything fun to kill the time?
Everyone was always, our cast was always everyone was really good friends. We all hung out. We all, in Colombia, we got mobbed. It was Colombia, right, where we got mobbed with 1,000 people that recognized Tyler and Corey and Zach and Rachel, and they were taking photos. There was school kids everywhere. But yeah, we always had fun. You saw that there's some behind the scenes clips of them doing the Georgian dance in the airport. Everyone kind of did a little show. So that was a nice time for us. Yeah. That was
we did a lot of running jokes / strategy too in the airports because everybody was so competitive and so into doing research on this season, which
no one more than Bernie and Ashley.
Bernie and Ashley, research king and queen, but we were always trying to keep up. They were just we'd be trying to find a monument, and they already knew where it was, had it printed out. We were like, oh my gosh.
We were actually, I think my favorite Bernie and Ashley story is that we were at the airport and we were at a hotel across from the airport, and we were waiting to catch a flight, and we run across into the computer lab at the hotel, and we find Bernie and Ashley in there, and it's right before Armenia, and they thought that the saber dance was going to be the dance challenge. So they were in the airport lobby, like, learning the saber dance, just in case that was the challenge. And the lady behind the desk was looking at us like, what's going on? And we were like, I don't know. But that's how prepared they were.
That's so funny.
That's classic Yellow.
Yeah, so we just always had these back and forths of like, did you figure this out? No, we figured this out, you know, and just gamesmanship constantly.
That's awesome. So I give away prizes each week here on the show for one of our Snap friends. Scarlett Leanne, you are this week's winner. Ooh! You found the emoji, the hidden emoji, and I don't know if you guys have seen my Snapchat, but I did something special for you guys.
Hey.
We are
so that's right. I saw
Snapchat.
You guys don't have Snapchat? Hold on.
No.
I made geofilters.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Hold on.
How'd you do that?
I got some skills. Hold on. I got another one in here somewhere.
Hey!
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this one is my favorite.
Editing there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So anyway, if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, it's Classic One Media. So Matt, Dana, we don't have anybody. People asking about James Earl. He will not be joining us. He has got called into work, and he needed to do some work stuff. So you guys, we normally keep it at a half hour. You guys are welcome to hang out. We'd love to have you if you need to go.
Is there anything that we haven't asked you that you guys wanted to comment on? I don't know. There's something like in the previous leg that happened or that we didn't get to see.
Well, I know a lot of people have things they want to clear up.
We ran around at that pit stop for like 45 minutes looking for that library staircase because, you know, they gave us that picture and it was of a different building, had nothing to do with the library.
But it had to do with the view?
The view was backwards.
The wrong side.
So the view you had from the terrace was actually the back side of the building. It didn't match the picture.
Right.
So when you were looking at the picture to get the actual view of the picture, it was actually the other side. So there's actually a behind-the-scenes clip of me on the mat, and I told Phil we were looking for him in garbage. I'm, like, crying hysterically. I was like, we looked in the garbage! And he was like, why? And I was like,
could you have a shot at beating Tyler and Corey if you got it right away, or were you...
I don't know. We don't know how close we were, actually.
Yeah, they were ahead of us by a good bit, though.
Yeah,
so
I think that
probably not.
Our cab also was lost for like 45 minutes.
Us and Bernie and Ashley and Cole and Sherry were all around that time, so that order really probably could have gotten mixed up anyway. Cole and Sherry actually basically drove right to it almost, and they found it right away.
They were the only ones.
And that was how they made up all that time on Bernie and Ashley. Bernie and Ashley were doing the same thing. We were
running around,
trying to find it. And
he did make a comment saying, I think everybody's going to have a problem finding this.
It was really difficult.
It was really hard.
Tyler and Corey had the same problem. Sherry and Cole, we don't know how it happened. Apparently their taxi dropped them off, and
they heard the drumming.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Did you guys hear that? Is that
No, our taxi drove us way back. Our taxi drove us to the building.
Even hear.
So we couldn't hear anything.
Hear it.
It's crazy.
And there was a marathon going on in the city that day, and that was the starting point, was the other side of the building. So it was just chaos with tents and people and noise, and it was wild. And it was pouring rain. It was like...
Yeah. That Bernie decided to take the train, he said, because there was a marathon going on, so he didn't want to risk taking a cab.
I don't know that the train was a bad idea, actually.
We got stuck in traffic for a long time.
Yeah, we were in traffic so bad. There's actually a clip of us getting out of our taxi and walking some of the way because our taxi wasn't moving. So I don't know
like Paris for us. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Wait, everybody in the chat room is like harassing us to ask you to dance, and I think that's a little maybe just a little.
Yeah, hold on. They'll dance. Check out their YouTube channels. There's videos of both of them dancing. 100.
We should have gotten some chair choreography.
Give me a second for them to have a break.
Chair choreography.
Get a little
like a hand wave.
There you go.
Cutting action.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Are you happy?
There you go.
Happy
Yeah,
Also, the other question: if for some reason you guys don't win, and I don't know if you guys know this, but you are my pick to win this season, and you are still in it. Will you do an all-star season if they ask you to come back?
Yes, I would. I would do it again.
We've talked a lot about it. It's something that, after the race was done, we were so shocked with how difficult it was, as a lot of people have said. And there's times where you're like, oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this, but a lot of it really is just stressful and crazy.
Yeah.
She said she absolutely would do it again. I think I would if the opportunity came. But it really is a lot.
For me, though, like I bet everyone that has raced feels the same way. Like I find myself like wishing I could be back inside like a life-size game for a month and not be doing anything but like running around. Like as much as I love to hate it, I was like, this is horrible, but I
know you kind of want the stress.
Like
you just want to go back.
He was talking about going back like before we even came home. Like, okay. I mean, he's already mapping out in his head, like, all right, they're going to be doing 28 and then 29. So then
30's
they're
got
going
to be an all-star, so that's going to be in the...
I mean, we didn't even get home. We
were talking about it, honestly, after a certain leg would close, we would be like, if we do this again next time, we won't do this on this leg. Next time, we just, you never know if you, I mean, to have the opportunity once was incredible, and, you can't be mad if you don't get to do it twice.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where, like, I mean, you guys know because you've actually, like, you'll be able to say that you completed the amazing race. There's a way, like, there's a point where, like, you're tired, and you are almost at the point where you're like, I just want to finish this. I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. I'm sore. I haven't had a good night's sleep in a month, and I want my own bed. I want to see my family, and I mean, he kept saying, I could do this for like another month, and I'm like, Justin, I'm just ready to like finish and go home.
I was ready. I was definitely ready at that point.
It's tiring, and then you're sore. You're all over body sore, and you're trying to stay healthy, and you just want to eat food that like is home food. And
the food was tough, especially for
Matt.
Matt. He started to look a little sickly towards the end there.
How much weight did you guys lose?
Yeah.
I feel like I got fatter, actually.
I lost about 15 pounds, and all the guys were saying on the Dubai episode, you guys got bathing suits early on in your season, but by the time we got to Dubai, the girls were all happy because they're like, well, I haven't eaten much in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All the guys were like gangly and sickly. They're like, here, put on these
kind of like
golden underwear
and
prance around.
Falling off.
We were like, you guys couldn't give it the first leg when we were all jacked up.
Yeah.
So people keep asking us what this is. We're getting married in 173 days. So Matt, Dana, when are you guys getting married?
You're the first person to ever ask us that, actually.
What? Really?
Are you serious? No. I was like, there's no way.
People ask us all day. The cashier at the grocery store asks me. We don't know. We actually don't have plans to get married. We really don't have any plans right now. We had plans to get married 4 years ago, but then on the date we had planned to get married on, someone in Bermuda asked us to go out and teach a workshop, and we both looked at each other and we were like, let's cancel it.
Cancel the wedding and cheese dance.
All right. So we were like, forget it.
Are you guys?
And then we just never picked it back up.
Are you going to do some choreography dance at your wedding?
Have to.
No, I don't know. Are we?
I don't know. It's
maybe like your bridesmaids and groomsmen will do it for you. Maybe they'll put on something for you.
He'll say no, but then like the day before he'll be having like a full production. And
it'll like just happen in the kitchen. You'll like spin around and be like, oh, let's do that at a wedding. That'll be so great.
I could be. I don't know. I think a good bit of them do. Yeah, they think it's hysterical. Everybody that knows us has a very different response to it than the strangers that watch it. Our friends and family think that we are like the funniest people they've ever seen after this. They're like, you two need a reality
and that's just like,
They're very East Coast. They're very East Coast. And there's a lot of center of the country that kind of doesn't get it a little. They're
a little different vibe.
A little different.
Yeah, they're laid back. Like, they're a little
aggressive. Good well, our vibe is better.
I'm partial to it. I like it. I'm ready to shoot me straight.
All right, so we got to get to the recap. You guys want to stick around?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
Love it. All right, pop in whenever you want.
Wait, I'm sorry if I'm being super awkward. My thing is so delayed. Does it seem that way?
We don't see it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Because I'm like trying to talk.
People in the chat room are loving the East Coast part.
East Coast buddies.
They better.
No, I couldn't get the chat. I'm
I'm trying to get the chat. I'm all messed up today. I apologize, everybody.
Well, Diana, you are queen of the chat, so stay up to date.
Stay on it, because I'm trying to get it. It's not working.
I love the fact that there is almost 200 of you here live. I really appreciate you spending your Sunday with us. We will.
I got the chat.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
In the chat room.
I really appreciate all the mothers and all the people who left their mothers to come hang out with us. That's the priority.
East Coast, Best Coast. Thanks, Tim.
Also, I will get you off in time to see Game of Thrones, so don't worry about it. All right, so here we are. We are in Bali, Indonesia. It's 7:34 in the morning. Tyler is ripping open the clue, and they are off to Shenzhen, China, which is in the southern part of China near the Great Wall kind of area where we would have wanted to go and visit the Great Wall. But we were down in Macau. So they're up in China, and it's 7:35, Bernie and Ashley, 7:48, Sherry and Cole, and at 7:51, only 17 minutes separating the four teams, Matt and Dana take off. But they all got to go to a travel agent and get a plane that's leaving at 1:45 a.m. So they all have all day to kind of mix and mingle. But some of the things that I noticed is that when they head to the travel agency, Bernie and Ashley and Tyler and Corey are sitting there talking about who the villains of the season are. And they both think it's them, and meanwhile, the whole time it's Dana.
This has been such a huge topic for like the past few days on like
why
a lot
do we
of
need
forums
villains at all?
Yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know, they kind of set them up for it with like the hashtag like the villains, or would they hashtag like team villains?
They had a villains hashtag?
Yes, because Tyler and Corey said they need to be hashtag team villains, and then boom, hashtag team villains popped up. They're definitely smart, Tyler and Corey. So they have to head over to the travel agency, and there's a little drama brewing up there that's kind of setting the tone for this episode about the villainous. And last week, obviously, the U-turn, the double U-turn, get rid of a strong team who the girls love. And when you piss off the 13, 14-year-old girl nation, you will hear about it on Twitter. So I'm sure Team Rooster Teeth and Tyler and Corey got some flack online, but they're strong enough to get over it. All right, so they get to the airport, and this is what I like. I love to see airport racing, people running around the airports, but immediately Matt and Dana and Tyler and Corey kind of team up, and it sets the tone for the race. Now, you guys have been friends since the first episode, but have you guys teamed up that they haven't shown on cameras before this?
A lot of the times, I mean, if we passed each other, we happen to race close to each other a lot. So like you saw with Matt and Tyler on the oil change challenge, they worked together, and Matt and Corey in the flag challenge, they kind of teamed up and worked together. And just a lot of times we always would talk to them. If we were going to talk to anybody, we would kind of talk to them. And we happened to just be close. In this episode too, people don't see it, but we didn't have to exchange currency because we exchanged currency in the previous airport. We were the only people that were able to get currency in the previous airport. So we got down to the buses and got on our bus alone. We found the buses and got on. And Tyler and Corey just happened to catch our bus. We didn't know where they were and what was going on. And so just a matter of that.
What happened with the whole clue thing before that then? So that's how you found it before everybody?
Yeah, I mean, we got the clue at the same time as everybody else. We all kind of ran up there together, but then Tyler and Corey and Bernie and Ashley and Sherry and Cole had to go to the currency exchange, and we did not. So we went to look for the buses right away, and everybody else went to currency exchange. And it just so happened that Tyler and Corey caught our bus, and in that case, that's how we started working together.
That would have set the whole tone for the race. You guys would have been set off to a lead and had like a stress-free ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we on the very first mat, we came in first, Tyler and Corey second, and we just kind of said to each other after that leg on the mat with Phil, we were like, let's take this all the way to the end and then fight it out in the finale. And so we kept good on that. Both teams did really the whole way through the race whenever we had opportunities to help each other.
That's awesome. We did that with the reporters since episode 3. We were close with them. We helped them as much as we could.
Yeah.
And we got to the U-turn board 3 times before everybody else, and they were the ones that we should have U-turned every time. But because we were friends, we didn't.
And we didn't think that reporters would be dishonest.
Did you regret that? Do you regret that, Justin?
No, I don't. I don't regret.
He still plays it out. And
I don't
says
regret
that
putting my trust in someone. Like, if my fault is putting trust in someone, then
yeah, we don't regret the game we played.
You know, I think we ran a great race. My regret is not saying the simple words, "Keep the meter running."
Yeah, that's
4 words.
That's why he can't sleep. But yeah, that's what makes
$1 million.
sleep.
Look, this is $1 million. Separates $1 million from freaking, 25,000.
Yeah, no, I think the friendships that you make on the race and like us wanting to get to the end with Tyler and Corey was partly because we felt that they were a strong team, and we have fun to play against people who are strong. Like we wanted to play them because they gave us so much trouble. Like they were hard to play against. Like they were so smart and so strong. So that was part of it. And also we just wanted to have fun, and it was really nice to be with people that we genuinely liked. And it made the final leg so much fun to be with Tyler and Corey and Sherry and Cole.
Because people don't understand why you want to race with people. They're like, why? When we were crying when Team Texas was going to go home, they're like, why are they crying? Like they should just be happy that the team is going to be eliminated. But they don't understand the whole background to it. So it just completely makes sense what you said.
You start to love the people. Yeah.
Nobody else goes through what you go through. And, like, even from our cast to yours, like, your experience together was different than ours. So that's something that, even though we've done the race and we can relate to some aspects of it, your experience with it is different.
Unique.
Yeah, it's
different.
unique.
Yeah. Special.
Yeah. So Tyler, Corey, Matt, and Dana, they work together. They get to the first clue box, and I like the strategy. Like, every single bit of the way this episode, you could hear strategy coming out from somebody. And this is when Tyler and Corey say, listen, hide your clues. Don't let the others see them. So a little bit of strategy already starting, but it starts to unravel when they get to the currency exchange, and there's a little drama about, hey, Corey's trying to play it off. Hey, we'll exchange currency, and then we'll go look for the clue. And Bernie is like, what are you talking about? We got the clue right here. He's like, there really wasn't. There's only one left, kind of is over there, and it really didn't work for them. It kind of backfired in the end, and
Yeah, they were really quiet. I'm surprised they didn't have some pun to like.
Yeah, some funny pun to get you over it, but they kind of got caught. And for the first time, we see a little crack in Tyler and Corey's armor. They've been strong.
Well, we were all in. I think too. We were in such a hard position because Tyler and Corey loved Sherry and Cole and also wanted them to be there. Like no one wanted to screw anyone at that point, but we were in all such a hard position that we couldn't all go through. So we were like, where's the line with like not wanting to screw them or lie to them, but also not wanting to necessarily offer up information if they were the only team that hadn't figured something out.
Yeah. Final Five, you have to get dirty. You have not dirty. You have to start playing the game when you get to Final Five. You have.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And it's not about being deceitful. Exactly. It's just about not giving things away when you need to find a little bit of an edge.
You earned
There's
it.
no more time to make like alliances and friends. Like that's been established. Like you already did that part. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna help you out anymore. So if you choose not to give someone something, then like the way people were reacting to about that, I think was a little over the top.
Yeah, but it's because Tyler and Corey wanted to keep it so quiet. Even when they're waiting in line at the currency exchange, they see Sherry and Cole coming down, and they say, "Look, there's Sherry and Cole. Like, keep it cool." Like, so they're kind of trying to. I like it. He said, "Oh, there's Sherry and Cole. Be discreet." So I appreciate that, but I love the fact that immediately after it happened, kind of something similar from what our season. As soon as the paparazzi wanted to try to stir things up, immediately after that happened, boom.
Well, you didn't know that I was gonna blow up like that. That's the difference.
No, it was either gonna be. I thot we were gonna have fun.
Like, I just thought you were going to answer it right there at the
You're going to be like, yeah, we tried to U-turn you. And I'd have been like...
Why would I ever... Okay, we're not going to get into that again.
Yeah, because I would have thought it was funny. But you never know.
No, you don't tell somebody that you U-turn them before a U-turn that's coming up.
Yeah, I know. I mean, no, I totally agree with what you guys did, but I didn't
But I
know
said when
that's
Corey
how you were
did
gonna
that, it
react.
reminded me of that exact scene when they got caught like that and they were just standing there. It was like, oh my gosh, I know that feeling.
So the online community went crazy for this, which was awesome. It caused a little buzz, which is fun. Tyler and Corey, Matt and Dana, they're on that first bus, then boom, they jump on that first train as well. And from what we just learned, Matt and Dana could have got off to a good lead and had a lead the whole episode if the dang bus would have just left without them. But it didn't, and they got caught. So, see, Sherry and Cole missed the bus by that much. And see, the thing with the train here, and I have to point this out, Cole was on the train.
What happened there, Sherry? Yeah.
He was on the train. He's a big dude.
Said you have to pull a New Yorker. You pull a New Yorker. You put your arm in that train.
He just stands like this. That train is not moving.
I do that every day at work.
We were saying that we thought, we don't know actually what happened, but we were saying maybe he wasn't sure that it was the right train, and that was why he was hesitant, because absolutely, if he just stood in there, they would have...
Yeah, Sherry said on Twitter that she tried to do that. I was like, pull New Yorker, you got to put your arm there. But
Corey just said that
said it.
He's a brick.
She wasn't sure.
It shows him in there, standing like this, like, and then walking out. I'm like, if you just stand there, boom, he's getting on.
No, it says Sherry wasn't sure if it was the right train and they didn't want to jump on the wrong one. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's what we figured.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
You're almost better being, like, just catching the right train after than being on the wrong train and going in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
and not knowing how far that's going to go.
I just thought this is where being too nice kind of hurts you. Like, he's a sweet Southern boy. Like, all right, I'll just get off. I'll wait till the next one. It's like me, the New Yorker. Like, hell no, you ain't skipping me. I'm taking this train. So it's just I guess the difference from when you grow up. All right, so we have to find the Eiffel Tower. All right, this is what I really like too. Everybody seemed to know right off the bat where this Eiffel Tower was, which means everybody was doing research before they got to this clue box.
Of course, yeah. The airport. We went crazy with research, as always. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed this. Everybody knew you had to head to the Windows of the World, which is an awesome theme park with 130 world landmarks. Now, if any season or ever on the history of The Amazing Race was a place was made for The Amazing Race, this was it. Like, this seems like they made this specifically to The Amazing Race.
Yeah. Or it reminds me of Epcot, Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the different things.
Very much like Epcot,
yeah. They should have the next one at Epcot. Have a beer in every country around the world. And then at the end,
absolutely.
Did you guys go before the park had opened? Because I noticed that the later on that it got, I think with Sherry towards the end, you could see that more people were.
No, it was open.
No, but we went right when it opened.
It was the second
and so
that it opened. Yeah.
It was getting more crowded as the day went on.
Yeah, not many people.
It was early.
10 a.m. Yeah.
I always look for those things now. I guess now that you do it, you just look through it.
Yeah.
So this is the Roadblock time. Find a landmark related to the clues in a book. Get that book stamped with the passport stamp. You have to search this 118-acre area. I love this task. I love the place. I think it was a great opportunity for teams to pass other teams. It was endurance. It was brains. It was strategy. Now, when you guys got there, immediately teamed up with Tyler and Corey, Matt and Dana team up. And then it's like a little drama when Bernie kind of sees you guys working together. This is when, Bernie's been cool the whole show. Like such a cool lovey-dovey with him and Ashley. And then it's like that little gamer,
Yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about that, but that was my favorite part of Bernie, I think, when I saw a little bit of me in there.
Oh my God, me too.
You're not that nice.
When he ran by and he was still looking for that clue from the airport, I legit rolled off the couch. I was crying. I saved that.
He was a couple of jackasses. And then he told us, we didn't actually hear him call us jackasses, but later on.
Where was this? I missed this
He was running, but then later on he came over to us and was like, by the way, I called you guys jackasses. Just
they may or may not hear that part, yeah.
Yeah, and then he asked us, what you got in your book? And we were both like, you just told us you called us jackasses. We're not helping you now.
It's funny. So,
everybody
it was
funny.
Everybody did that too to us. Okay, Krista.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I loved how they showed the little part with Dana. I thought that you were being all cute, they showed her not littering. You were like, let's put them back in the box. I'm like, that's so nice, a little cute edit. And then it led up to Bernie.
Bernie's they
left them all here.
We took stickers from everywhere and then just put the trash back in. So I don't know how valuable that really was. We took every sticker they had. So.
Right. Yeah, but it was funny when Bernie kind of came clean about calling you jackasses, because it kind of felt like that at the end for us too. We're like, all right, do we tell people if we said anything about that?
Or do we just hope they don't show?
So people, I mean, we honestly didn't say anything about anybody except for Chris and Logan probably bicker, and
we called the Team Texas meatheads for the first 2 or 3.
And Kelsey and Joey Ken and Barbie because we didn't know their names. We didn't we didn't learn them. But everybody was like coming clean to us at the end. Like, we probably said some stuff about you guys.
We're sorry about what you're gonna see.
Yeah, we're sorry. It's gonna look really bad.
We really didn't have that at all. Everyone really was super nice except for that. I don't think anyone trash talked anyone in our season. Really, it really was as lovey-dovey as it looked. Everyone was really sweet except for that. And like I said, Bernie told us 5 minutes after that he called us jackasses. So we were like.
Well, I love the editing in this because the Amazing Race Gods always find a way to make things happen when it comes to this part of the race. So Bernie and Ashley get there, and they see Tyler and Corey, Matt and Dana teaming up, and he's all alone. And what happens? He powers through and makes it past the two people who got there before him and teamed up. It's just what the Amazing Race does. The Amazing Race Gods have a funny way of working out. In first place this whole episode pretty much running through, and we'll get to what happens next. But I love to watch Bernie throwing shade as he's running back and forth. That's definitely fun. Sherry is just the sweetest person to watch during this. She's having such a tough time, and she's just so cute when you cut to her, and she's like, I'm doing it all by myself. And then it's like, it cuts to her, and she's like, dang, I don't even know what a mini right is. Boom.
She was actually really cute at the park, too. Tyler and I did offer her some help a couple of times, but she knew she was behind us, and she didn't want to feel like she was taking answers from us. So she was like, no, I want to do it on my own. So she actually really was like, wow. We thought that was really cool that she just wanted to do the task herself.
Absolutely.
This is also where we spoke a little bit about earlier. One of the best parts of this episode when Dana is dead serious looking at Tyler, letting him know he is not going to be Keisha. You will be peeing in your pants, sir. You are not going to the bathroom until we are done. Definitely enjoyed that. From there, you have to make your way by subway to Lychee Park. Now, all teams are on the same train here except Sherry and Cole, who seem to be lacking behind as poor Sherry is struggling with the task at hand. The Detour. Commuter cycle or Master of Art. This is where everything changes for the whole episode. This is the critical decision here. What would we have done, babe? I think I would have wanted to do Commuter cycle at first.
Yeah, I would have wanted to do the paintings.
So it depends on.
You probably would have won because I probably wouldn't have said anything.
It was leg 11, so I would have probably listened to you by this point.
Oh yeah. We would have done paintings.
The thing about this roadblock is, if we had known that it was those motorized scooter things, we would have absolutely done that one. But the clue said
I was so surprised.
unicycle.
Yeah,
it said unicycle, and Dana's not a big fan of bikes, and I've never ridden a unicycle, and we knew we had a little bit
bulky,
with the high seat and stuff.
So I was like, no way.
So the word unicycle really threw us off, and after we saw what it was, I was like, oh, I can't believe
that. That completely changes what I think I would have done then, because if it was that, I was wondering, I'm like, wow, why wouldn't they do that? They can balance, they're athletic. I would have done that with Tiffany 100%.
And
but
in Dubai,
unicycle too, but.
Yeah, in Dubai, so many of the teams that went to the camel race on the bicycles ended up having to switch. So we were just like nervous about anything to do with bicycles, and we figured we'd play it safe.
Especially
we had a little lead on Carrie and Cole at that point.
Yeah, and I was exhausted. I ran like 10 miles already at that point. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to be bicycling today.
No.
So I think that there's also a couple critical mistakes made here. Bernie and Ashley, on the way to the Detour, are talking about switching before they even start. Now, it's good and it's bad. It's bad because it's already putting a negative vibe on you. It's already giving you that, all right, I can't do it, I'm going to quit type of attitude. But two, you make the critic, if you're going to say that, when you get there, you make the decision right away. You get on, you try, and you make a decision. That's it. What they did was they sat around, they waited their 45 minutes or 40 minutes, tried it, and then they left. That's death. That is death. That is the one time that they make this decision. Like, a gamer should know these things. He should know that this part.
Once I heard that, once I heard the switch thing, I immediately was like, oh, no.
That's why we didn't switch in Paris.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were afraid to pull another shiny move where they stayed with the task to the end, and they felt like that really was nearly the death of them. So this time they were like, we're not going to make that mistake. We're going to switch if we need to switch. And they knew they had about a 45-minute lead over Sherry and Cole. So they figured all that they did was burn the lead in staying there that long, and then they would basically just be even with them and race them through whatever detour. So I think that was their reasoning.
This is something people don't understand, how the previous race legs affect what you do in the end. The reason that cab driver left is because we ran out of money 3 times on the race because the cab driver's ripping us off. 3 times. So this cab driver asked for $100, so I thought, like, here we go again. We're getting ripped off here in New York. And I'm like, I'm going to have like $50 for the last leg in New York. I'm done. Nobody in New York's giving you a free ride. This ain't Brazil. Like, so that happens.
But what?
Yeah.
I want to know why they. I'm just because I'm reading in the chat, like, because Corey said we were shocked they did the unicycle. How come they? Why would they pick that one?
And that's the wrong decision.
The other one in the first place.
The mindset that he had. He's like, we have a lead. We'll go try this. It's the harder one, and the harder one, if you get it, is going to be faster.
He said it was a
you got to do the easier one before the.
If you have a lead. If you have a lead, you go and you do the easy one because it has a definite finish and you already have a lead. Like, you're not going to finish in last. It's like a guarantee. If you do the hard one, there's a possibility of finishing in last.
Exactly. So I don't know why.
They got comfortable. They got a little too comfortable, and they were like, we're going to race for first. And even when they switched and they got there, they still thought they were racing for first. And then they saw Tyler and Corey leaving, and they were like, well, maybe we're racing for second. No, you're racing for last right now. All right, so let's get into it. Sorry.
Yeah, I have to go soon.
I know. Bernie and Ashley, they're on their way already talking about switching. I hate that. Sherry and Cole are obviously last to get anywhere. They picked the unicycle. But let's go over to Master of Art, where they have to find the painter with the marked paintbrush, pick up some art, deliver it, and hang this multiple-piece artwork in the proper order. It has to be proper distance away from each other. That's right, Dana. He was right. It did have to be separated. It didn't have to be flush.
No, that's not what he meant by flush. You have to look at that. Everyone's killing me on this. You have to watch that scene again. Matt had it on the floor with, like, pieces jutting out this way, and another piece was hanging off the side. He thinks flush means. He doesn't know what flush means.
I know what flush means. I'm a carpenter.
You're not.
You saw me with the hammer.
Oh, he's a carpenter. Okay, forget. You know, that's not what he meant. We didn't know that there had to be space until we hung it up. Neither of us knew.
He's like, the jag of the hanging off the wall.
Honestly, I don't remember. I can't.
All right, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. He's a carpenter.
Smart answer.
Yeah.
I don't
And a skier, everything. Like, what doesn't he do?
He's right too often, so he doesn't.
It's tough being right all the time. Sometimes I understand, Matt.
Yeah.
But Tyler and Corey get there, and they do what they've done all season. They get to these tasks that are attention to detail or building something. They get there, they kill it, they get out. It's continuous all
and Corey
season.
Has his
Crazy.
Corey has his degree in smidgens.
Yeah.
So
all the teens learned what a smidgen was because it's such like an older person type of word. So I think all the teens.
I love him with all the nails in his mouth, too. He said he kept taking them out of his pocket, even though he had 4 in his mouth. Just had him there for the whole task.
I couldn't race with them. I would just, like, literally have been, like, in tears laughing the whole time. Like, there would have just been no progress.
They really were able to stay so calm. I mean,
ridiculous.
when the judge came in and told us ours was wrong, we'd be like, what do you mean it's wrong? It's perfect, you know, and Tyler Corey like, well, we'll go back and we'll fix it. And, you know, they stayed so cool the whole time.
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous.
I'd be laughing at them the whole time, like if I was ever with them at a challenge. Like if I heard that going on.
I'm definitely jealous of how much fun that they have, no matter what situation they're in. I was jealous of how much Bernie and Ashley can maintain that lovey-doveyness through the whole freaking race. Like, I'm definitely jealous of those type of things.
I think also, though, I can lead a little bit into Tyler. When I did get to work with him in the TADS, I was surprised at how intense he was when he was really playing. I don't think you guys really see that in the episodes. Like, I think it almost makes him look a little not competitive in how relaxed he is a lot of the time. But when we were running around that park, he was crazy. He was like, we're running! Like, we're doing it! Like, he was intense. He was there to play. Like, and I was surprised.
I definitely see them as competitive.
He's going for it. Yeah, he's super competitive, and he played hard. As chill as he looked and as fun as he was, like, he was racing hard. He was running. Like, he never stopped running. He was serious.
I love that. And we learned that Matt used to flip houses before he became a dancer, so he got this carpenter thing down pat. HGTV, they are accepting your offers, so reach out to them. for their new show. I think they should go around New York flipping little lofts around or something like that. I think it'd be fun. All right. So after they finish this task, they get a photo of the pit stop, which I like. I like when they get the photo.
Oh, yes. I like that.
They have to kind of figure things out a little bit.
We had that in Paris.
Similar to what we did in Paris. And they have to head to the library, the Shin Library Terrace. Now, it did say terrace. That was one thing that I thought people did not. I don't know if it was written on the clue, but the way it sounded like it was read, it said terrace. Terrace means up. So I think everybody should immediately ran up instead of around. Was that something?
We ran up into the wrong building. We were all in the upper level of the wrong building. So that was kind of, the people in that building were looking at us like, what in the entire world is going on? Like, why are you lunatics?
Isn't that the best when you go into like when you go into like a wrong store
like a museum
or wrong,
or
you're like
something.
just running in. Yeah. And they have no idea what's going on.
They looked a little surprised to see us up there.
Yeah, we were looking at the picture, and the building, obviously it matched up, and like you said, with the word terrace, we were like, maybe it's in one of those two towers. So we were running through there. There was a front terrace and a back terrace. We were asking people, it did say library, so we were asking people, where is the library? And people weren't really able to tell us, and Bernie was joking that there's no way that actually said where is the library in Chinese on there, because people were reading it and just pointing all different directions. It was for some reason it was
things that said that don't tell these people where to go, like in
just
Chinese.
Point everywhere.
Just point in a random direction and watch them run
we
away.
were just like really struggled.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
So it's pouring down rain. The drama is going off. Who's going to get to the pit stop first? Is it Tyler and Corey going to get their first place? Is it Matt and Dana who are going to get their first place since the first leg? And then around the corner, you hear the giggle of Tyler is running up the stairs, enjoying life, and they get their first place and their third in a row. And I think this is the time they're catching their second win right at the perfect time. Everything says Tyler and Corey have the advantage going into the final leg, but Amazing Race has a funny way of working out. We'll see what happens. So at second place is Matt and Dana, not that far behind, but from what we hear, they were running around to various towers.
We were far. We asked them how far behind we were, and I think we were like 30 minutes.
Corey said, minutes. I think almost an hour or about an hour.
Yeah, we were way lost.
Yeah, how long was it, Corey?
All right, well, good editing. So I appreciate the editing to increase the intensity.
Justin, they want you to do Tyler's laugh again, everyone in the chat.
Do it.
Do it.
I love it.
That was like pretty good.
That's pretty
good. That is pretty good.
I've been listening to the audiobook. He does it. So I mean, actually, if you guys haven't listened, go check out Binge. It's really awesome. You learn a lot about this guy. I can't believe the stuff he's been through. All right,
you can even laugh like it.
And you can learn to laugh. There's your next video. Make a video showing us how to laugh like you. All right, so here, this is the biggest drama of the season and one of the best endings for an episode. It's definitely all season, but maybe in the history of the race, like the intensity, the drama, the build-up. Is it going to be Bernie and Ashley have been second place pretty much every episode, coming up the rear, or is it going to be Sherry and Cole, the team that people what are they still doing here? And they find a way as they turn that corner, and I watched as Diana had the tears coming down her face, and everybody was like, oh my God! And I can't lie, the tears are welling up in my eyes. I was so happy to see it. Not that
I cried for a while after that, after it was over. So I was still crying.
And it's nothing against Bernie and Ashley. I think they totally deserve to be in the final three, but it's just the story of wow, the look on Cole's face of genuine happiness and surprise, the joy of Sherry of we freaking did it. We did it. I've been doubting myself all year, and we finally did it. There's
they
nothing.
Made us laugh because they said that they keep giving their exit speech. So, they genuinely thought they were last. They were in the taxi being it was a good run, I love you, Mom. And then they come in and they're still in it.
I love the fact that Cole was so supportive, such in a good mood the whole time in the taxi ride there. Like, they kept such a positive attitude, and they appreciated getting this far. But nobody can ever take away from the three of you, the three teams, that you guys have finished the amazing race. No matter what no matter what place you come in, you finished the amazing race.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself. So Sherry and Cole turn that corner. They have a great attitude, and then Bernie and Ashley get stuck in traffic. They decide to run, jump out of the cab. They're searching around, and they finally get eliminated. They also have a great attitude about their elimination. I mean, I would have definitely been bawling like a girl. And
I literally had such this was the exact situation that kind of happened to us, so I think that's why I was hysterical crying too, because just seeing that final three on the mat and then running, just knowing kind of that you're going home before it's time to go home was so crushing. I just felt it for them. It's heartbreaking. Wait, was it true that you guys saw our episode in China while you were in China?
Yeah,
we were watching
that night in the hotel room after we left the pit stop. We went to the hotel in China, and then we watched you guys.
I think it was your finale, actually, wasn't it?
No, it was
the second to last.
It was the China leg.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so insane.
Yeah, the whole time we were taping our season, your season was airing the second half. So whenever we did have a Friday on an off day or a leg in, we would all be like, "Can we please watch the race?" Trying to get access to TV. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, that we were in China watching the Final Four while we were racing the Final Four.
Yeah.
Really weird.
That would have been so cool as a super fan. You get to experience the race a little bit while you're on the race. It's in China, the China leg.
It was like a time warp kind of thing. We were like, holy cow. This is
all
weird.
right.
Yeah, that's strange.
So this is my favorite part of the whole recap. Let's get to our awards here. Krista, who's going to get your hair flip in this episode?
My hair flip is 100% absolutely going to Sherry, because she absolutely rocked this entire leg, and I feel like just watching her on that, is it a unicycle?
Yeah.
Let's just call it that. And how she was flying by Cole and just looking like it was nothing, really just, I don't know, it just really, really impressed me. And also James Earl isn't here, so the seal clap also is going to go to Sherry and Cole for just never giving up and fighting to the end. So I think they really impressed everybody, the whole season, but this episode alone.
Diana does not want to put anybody in check for this episode, so we will move on to the superfan move. I'm going to actually give it to Cole. I think it was Cole because he was so steadfast on not switching when they were having a little trouble, and he was having more trouble than his mom, and they were there for a while. Every time she asked, he was 100% saying not switch. If we go to the other task, we'll be behind everybody, and that's the right thing to do. And it is what separated him, or Sherry and Cole, from Bernie and Ashley. Bernie and Ashley quit and switched. So, Cole, I know you've been getting a lot of slack all year from a lot of the fans for not carrying your weight because people don't pay attention, but you, my friend, are getting the super fan move of the episode. So next week.
Good. So really quickly, somebody wrote, they're like, oh my God, Cole acts so young, seriously. I want to be like, he is so young.
He's 19 years old. One of the youngest ever to run the race.
Cole is a really responsible kid, too. He just has a goofy personality, but he's extremely intelligent. He manages his business. He's incredible with his family. He takes care of his siblings. He's not just like a stupid kid. He's a really intelligent guy.
He's a role model. Your kids want to be Cole. He praises God. He's all about being good and doing happy things. If you watch his Snapchat, he's just being stupid with his guy. Always with his family. Always surrounded by family and happiness and love.
Their family is I want to be part of their family.
Family goals. They definitely need a TV show. Come on.
Oh my God.
7 of them in the house at one time.
Imagine.
Living the brand.
And then you guys can fix
cute, right?
house.
There you go. Live in the brick. We got it. HGTV for you guys. I think they're going to go on maybe
fixing
E or
up
something.
their house.
All right. So next episode, the finale. It's over. Are you kidding me? This season is over already.
Bye.
I believe it.
We see huge leaps. We see zip lines. We see taxis. We see boats. We see helicopters. This is going to be a great episode. I don't know if they announced where the final place is yet. Is it out there already? But if it is something, it's out there.
They announced it, right?
I'm not sure.
Episode?
All right, whatever. I'm going to tell you.
I didn't see it.
No, should I not say it? All right. So it's in a place that's actually very special for season 27. If you pay attention, it's a very special location for season 27. All right, predictions. Do we want to? Who we think's going to take it here in the finals, Krista? Matt and Dana go like this. Then. No. Who we think's going to take it in the finals?
You can be honest.
We're right here, guys. We hear you. No, be honest. Who you got? What's the story?
Well, okay. I said from day one you guys are going to win. So I'm going with you. Not just because you're here. If you rewind this to the beginning, I always said that they were going to win. Just because I knew them and I love them.
What about you, Miss Stang? Thank you for coming back.
Dana and Matt, I love you guys.
I can't. I don't want to.
You're a Tyler and Corey fan. We know.
Yeah, you're just like me and Justin. That's why I love you guys. But I picked the green team. If you guys were green, I would have picked you guys. But I picked the green team, Tyler and Corey. So, I mean, I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope it's hard because you want everybody to win, but, everybody can't win.
I think everything says Tyler.
I know. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, everything says Tyler and Corey should win, which is why I think Matt and Dana win. Because similar to our season where everybody was like, oh, they win, that's why he's being such a cocky idiot. Well, no, I came in second. Oh, he's being so cocky on social media, or he's because he won. Blah, blah, blah. No, I came in second, which is all right. So I think the same thing is kind of going to happen. Tyler and Corey are going to finish in second to Matt and Dana, who are going to hit their stride, win the first leg and the last leg, and would have won the $2 million on that one season. Not many teams. I think you're like the fourth team in the history of the race to win the first season and last leg, if you win the last leg. Yeah. All right. So, what are we going to do?
We're going to survive.
We're going to survive. I'm going to actually be out in L.A. for the finale. Diana's going to be here holding down the fort. Krista, I think, is going to be out in L.A. for the finale as well. So we'll have some in-depth coverage. We'll have clips or either audio or video if we're allowed. Maybe some interviews with the winner. I don't think the winner is going to be able to join us live because there's going to be a lot of traveling going on and they're probably getting pulled in a lot of directions. So whoever wins, I promise I'll get a sound bite from my phone or something like that from the winner.
Let them enjoy their moment, Justin.
Yes. I'm definitely not there to steal anybody's thunder. I'm just going to be
no, I'm kidding.
Like loving life. But next week we got Marty and Hagen. We didn't have a chance to have them on the show earlier in the season, so they're going to be joining us.
We love them.
I'm so excited about that. Yeah, we never really heard from them throughout the season, we on Twitter and stuff like that. But I'm excited, for fans to get to talk to them because they deserve that.
And we're also going to have Cole on, possibly if they're back home. They don't know if they're going to be back home in time, but if they are, we'll also have Cole on, so we get to talk to him about the finale and drinking milk while everybody's getting hammered. No. Matt and Dana, we really appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We really appreciate it. We know that you guys are being pulled in so many different directions, and you guys have supported the show, and we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Justin, Diana.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And every one of you guys on a Sunday night who left your moms to hang out with us, thank you so much.
Or you are moms.
Or you are moms and you want to spend it with us. We love you. We really appreciate you. A little thumbs up on the bottom, a like, a subscribe. It all helps. So thank each and every one of you.
I'll do the James Earl. Bye.
We'll see you next week. Same
bad channel.
Same bad channel.
Yeah.
Finale.
Bye.